I'm going to start by sharing a brief story with you about innovation at Haskell, and then we'll get you to kind of where we are today and what we're working on. So Haskell, small little company here in town, founded in 1965, built a lot of the riverfront that you see today, and as it stands today, global leader in architecture, engineering, and construction. Delivering close to $3 billion annually in work with over 2,000 folks located all across the globe and operations and offices in 10 different countries. So quite an impressive company just sitting right in your backyard here in Jacksonville. It all started with this man here, Preston Haskell, our fearless founder. As a young entrepreneur, he became very frustrated with the traditional means of engineering, design, engineering, construction, which was design, bid, build. So this was ripe with flaws, caused all sorts of issues by coordinating across the entire value chain of a project, communication breakdowns, rework, and the ugly litigation that still continues to plague our industry today. So frustrated with that, he said there has to be a better way. And so he went out and forged and hell-bent on the innovation that he wanted to drive to forge a new way to design and build. And that's literally what he created. So what traditional means of building is design, bid, build, which would involve independent architect, independent engineering firms, all independent from the owner and the builder itself. Again, very complex structure, misaligned incentives, etc. What he set out to do was bring these interdisciplinary teams of design, engineering, and constructors all under the same roof, all with aligned incentives to execute and deliver more efficiently and for the projects. So that is where we came to with design build. And so fast forward to some of his earlier efforts before we fast forward was his founding of the DBIA, which is the Design Build Institute of America. This is the premier standards board for design build, and he was a founding member, and this organization is still leading the charge today when it comes to design build. Design build is now also the preferred method of design, engineering, construction, and as of 2012, over 52% of new projects are delivered in this fashion. So very impressive, but it was no easy task, right? And innovation doesn't stop, right? So continuing on, these are all additional means that were a lot of patented, innovative, not sure what happened to the slide here, but basically just advanced means continuing to innovate on how you deliver and drive more efficiencies. But where we are today is we're at a strategic inflection point in the industry. So over the last decade, there's been hundreds of millions of dollars invested in venture capital into our space specifically because of the sheer size of the industry and understanding that it's over a $10 trillion industry globally, and it has significant challenges and headwinds that we're facing. So this investment in our space is great. However, if we do not embrace not only the technology, but just as design build was integrating interdisciplinary teams together, if we're not taking this technology and integrating it with our people and our processes appropriately, it will all be for none. But right now, we have to capitalize on this in order to continue to deliver the infrastructure needs moving on to the future, as you heard Tim talking just this morning about. I mean, it's pretty monumental. And our industry is plagued with not only challenges around just labor force in general and lack thereof, diversity issues, safety issues. As of 2019, from a statistic from OSHA, over 1,000 people lost their lives in the industry of construction, and almost 200,000 people were injured in serious injuries, non-fatalities in 2019 alone. So this is also still one of the most dangerous jobs you can do, which is absolutely crazy. So again, all this investment in technology, you're seeing what is now readily available, and we need to continue to embrace this and how we do things, and it's a shift of a paradigm that we're at right now, and we are capitalizing on it. And enter Disruptek. So in 2018, Haskell's leadership set out to say, look, we want to disrupt ourselves before the industry does it for us. And so that is the general, the catalyst for how Disruptek came to be. And our mission is simple. Our mission is to take technologies that are readily available, and if they're not, to develop technologies to solve the biggest challenges for our business and then bring them to the broader industry. Again, rising tide lifts all ships, and that's what we're here to do. And we can't, we can't do this alone. And this is a huge, large industry that involves multiple parties. Some projects, over 100 different organizations are involved at any point in time on some of these mega projects. And so it takes everyone to really move the needle here, and it's a necessity now. So I'll share just a little bit about what we're working on, jumping right in here. So what you just saw there should hit close to home, right? That's the bank, the Jaguars' home. We were fortunate to have the opportunity to go and create a digital twin of the stadium, and we wanted to attack a new means to be able to do this. And so we were the first to use an autonomous drone and quadbot in tandem to slam scan the stadium, producing a digital twin in a day versus it taking a team of terrestrial scanners and individuals weeks to complete the same task. And so again, just understanding the efficiencies that we can drive by leveraging technology and creative problem solving around that. This is another very interesting and exciting example of what we are trying to do to drive innovation in the space. This company is called Rod Radar. We came across them basically by going through our business and saying, what are some of the biggest challenges that we face today, not just in our group in Haskell, but also what's the industry. And so what we discovered was underground utilities and underground utility strikes is a $50 billion a year issue globally. So that's 50 billion with a B. This is major, and this is, again, a global issue, and everyone seems to be, again, approaching status quo, right? So, well, it's the way it just happens, that's it. We do GPR, we do our locates, we have the potholing company out here, we have our as-builds, it just still happens sometimes. So, it is what it is. And we said, no, that's not good enough. So we went out and pursued technologies that were innovating on traditional means of GPR. We identified this company out of Israel. They're ex-IDF radar scientists, originally working on use cases for low-altitude flight in helicopters using radar technology. They took that technology and they integrated it into an excavator bucket, which is a very challenging technical problem to solve. 7 years later, they have what is now the first live dig radar. So it is advanced ground penetrating radar. integrated into an excavator bucket. So the operator that's digging at the point of contact will have a surety of what he is going to encounter, or if he's clear to dig continuously within precision of inches. And this detects any type of buried utility. So very excited. We're the first ones to bring this to North America. We're the first company to pilot them. We have since included them in our portfolio, made an investment in, actually several investments in this company. This will become commonplace across the industry globally. And another very exciting thing, the first place we tested it at was at the practice facility, the new practice facility for the Jaguars up the street, being relevant enough. So just very exciting technology that I'd like to share with you all. Another really interesting portfolio company of Dysruptek is a firm called Hyperframe. They're out of the Bay Area. What they're doing is they're rethinking metal wall framing, traditional metal wall framing from the ground up. So saying, how can we shift the paradigm around something as commonplace as metal wall framing? So what they've done is they have essentially, they're taking the model, they're building to spec the walls, direct to order. They're being delivered as a kit of parts on site. Each piece and component is labeled with a QR code that then an unskilled laborer can put on a HoloLens or other means of augmented reality, scan the QR code, it overlays in real time exactly where that needs to be placed, and it's toolless construction, so it's all snap in place. And so this is patented design. This is completely rethinking how you traditionally would do this scope of work today. So again, this is democratizing the labor force to help solve some of those challenges. This is a very innovative way of using technology, also reducing waste by no longer needing to cut to fit on site. Everything is produced on demand to spec, which is very exciting. So this company is called Hyperframe. Highly recommend you go check it out. There's some really cool videos online, and this is 15 times faster than traditional metal wall framing. And this is with, again, unskilled framers. So you're talking revolutionizing the time that it takes to frame a wall traditionally. In closing here, just wanted to share some of the highlights from what we have been working on. The slide got a little bit jacked up here too, but we've deployed over $30 million over the last 5 years in innovative companies and R&D projects alike. We have engaged over 1,500 of our employees. We run internal innovation programs that source a lot of creative means and methods to solve challenges in our business without even including external technologies. We've evaluated over 500 solutions. There are thousands in the market today, and we piloted over 75 of these technologies. We've scaled several across the enterprise. But yes, none of this, we filed a patent around a very hazardous type of testing for mechanical systems that now can be done remotely using IoT and connected devices. Very exciting stuff. Again, none of this would be possible without a very innovative company and workforce that embraces this, and obviously a great team that supports me in all of this as well. So just wanted to share a little bit about what we're working on. And again, we've been ranked continuously a top 10 investor in the space, in the built world's arena. Innovators in our own right, several accolades and awards from the industry specific. So if anyone is either at a firm or interested in the space and wants to discuss, we're right here in the backyard. We love collaboration and very open to discussing what we're working on with you and hopefully problem solving together. So thank you for your time and hearing me out.
When that robot walked into happy hour last night, it was the most exciting I saw people since Matt Chang walked in. It was just, the crowd went crazy. So, questions?
So tell me about Hyperframe. Is that commercial, residential, a little bit of both? Is it hurricane resistant?
Yes, so they have all the standards. One of the co-founders, his name is Todd Brady, not to be confused with Tom Brady. He is referred to as the godfather of metal wall framing, so he owns a lot of the original patents for traditional metal wall framing back from the 70s and 80s. And so everything that they're doing today is all compliant. It meets all kind of required industry specs. And it is applications kind of broad across both residential and commercial. So they have contract manufacturers in Canada and the United States. So right now they're ramping their manufacturing, but they're already live on several projects, mainly some big condos on the West Coast that are being developed now today. And we will be able to share with you some exciting updates here locally involving them as well here soon. So definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit about your challenges or the biggest challenges of integrating a VC arm with a technology arm with the labor force, a construction labor force that you referenced to?
Yeah, absolutely. So I probably didn't do it justice in the slide, but you know, there's a reason construction is where it is in one of the least digitized industries today, and it's because it's really hard. It's a dynamic environment. A lot of times these sites are in the middle of nowhere, connectivity, they're dynamic, they're changing constantly, and you're dealing with lots of different parties trying to coordinate, and the sophistication, the use of technology varies greatly. And so those are all kind of challenges uniquely to that. When we stood up Dysruptek, fortunately, we have the executive team that's very supportive of what we're doing. So that was the initial driver. But then it's up to me and our team to really get into the weeds with our project teams, designers, and engineers to really show them that not only we know what we're talking about, but we're passionate about solving their problems, and we're hearing them out. So we're not bringing them solutions that are not applicable, or they're like, oh, that's cool, but that's not really a problem for me today, right? And we see a lot of that with technology, and it's been talked about yesterday and some this morning about entrepreneurs solving problems that maybe aren't really the big problem that needs to be solved. And so boiling all that down and showing their teams that, you know, we're really trying to enable them with the best tools to do the best work of their lives. And also it's really exciting to see the younger generation joining the workforce, which is still huge gaps there. So in no way are we even close to overcoming the need for a younger generation to join our workforce. But they are much more receptive. They've grown up with technologies around them. And so this is not only just second nature in a lot of cases. So the challenge and the hurdle to trying something new isn't quite the same as some of our more legacy OG folks in the business that are on our project sites. And so that's really encouraging, but it's also making it very, very exciting, because a lot of the stuff that we're finding today, again, with Rod Radar, these were ex-IDF radar scientists working on some very complex DoD applications. This is technology that we're seeing from everything from NASA to defense to maritime applications, and it's crossing over into construction, and which is really cool because it's saying all this can be utilized, and the industry is no longer your grandfather's construction company, right? About how you build and how you think about digital twins and integrating all this technology. So it's a really exciting time to be in this space. But that's a little bit about the pitch about how we try to get people to collaborate. But we're trying to ideally, at the end of the day, really make sure that they see the value in what we're trying to solve for them.
You've talked about, obviously, the things that you have underway, the companies you've invested in. What big problems are you looking to solve in the future? What are the unanswered questions that you're still looking for solutions for?
Yeah, so one big one is we've been a big adopter over the last 5 to 10 years of different means to build, so prefabrication and modular. So this is delivering in what we call design, manufacture, construct. So essentially they're oversized shipping containers, fully fitted, paint on the wall, plumbing, fixtures, tile, the whole 9 yards, and they get sent onto a site and stitched together, and it's a much quicker means to build. However, at the end of the day, a lot of these prefab and modular solutions are really just building in a controlled environment, and then when you layer in logistics on top of it, the savings and the opportunity costs gets eroded very quickly. So automation and robotics in this type of repeatability fashion, solving these complex problems, is something that we're very focused on, and trying to understand how we can really truly augment the offsite construction and the labor force there. And safety, quality are always kind of front in mind and top of mind, because the fact that, again, close to 1,000 people every year will lose their lives just working in the space is, to me, unacceptable. So really some fundamental blocking and tackling that we're doing, but we're always looking at the H2 and H3 about what's coming down the pipe as well.